guys, I am finally getting around to recording a new YouTube video. Also, excuse the noise. I do have kids. Sometimes they make a little noise in the background. Plus, I'm trying to figure out how to work this. There's so many parts to it. A part that you have to actually attach to the phone. And then you have to, put this on. And then sometimes this picks up all the noise. So until I can figure out how to work that, I'll just be using my phone camera, so excuse all of the noise. If you guys have been following me on my Instagram or on my TikTok, you guys know that I absolutely love the 1995 adaptation of Pride and Prejudice. I love the books. I have multiple copies. So today I will not be talking about Pride and Prejudice 1995 because you guys already know I love that one. I will be spending a little bit more time talking about different period dramas that I absolutely love. Okay, so if we're talking about favorite period dramas, I think I should include like elements that I look for, that I consider different points that I think that make a classic period drama. It doesn't have to be book based. I know majority of them are. Not all of them have to be book based. They don't even have to be accurate. In my opinion, unless I really love it. Now, Pride and Prejudice 95, obviously, that is my favorite book. So, of course, when I am looking for adaptations, it needs to be accurate. I don't want to see somebody else reimagining it. I just want to see it how it is. Take its little liberties, a few, but not too far. Now, North and South, the miniseries is one of my favorites also. Now, I have not read the book. I do have a copy of the book, but you guys, the copy that I have, I think it's one of those ones that people can bind themselves, after a certain amount of years. You can like bind your own books and sell them. I think this was somebody did, so the cover is really nice, but anytime I literally flip open the pages, they just start falling out. They start falling out. Oh yeah, I'll show you. Okay, so this is my copy of North and South. It is gorgeous. Look at that. Gorgeous copy. But it is not a copy to be read. For one, text is very small. Look at that. Way too small. And then anytime I get ready to read it, pages start to fall out. Now see, the first part of the title page has already come out. I think it's in my closet somewhere. I need to get it. So it has fallen out. I did start to read it a while back, underline some parts. See there? But for the most part, I do prefer older copies of classics. I don't know, for some reason I just prefer a well-loved, worn copy of a classic. If I'm going to read it, if I'm going to get into it, I don't mind highlighting in any of my books. I don't really care. I don't mind highlighting them. I want the dog-eared pages. I want the cracked spines. I want books that I love, especially classics, to be well loved and worn in when I read them. So North and South to me is a great period drama. I think the key to every period drama, it has to be yearning. If the people are getting together at the start, I don't want to watch it. To me, if there's too much, sorry guys, there's something in my eye. If there's too much explicit content, I don't want to see it. For me, something's in my eye, y'all. For me, a period drama, if it's PG rated, great. If it's PG-13, I think it's pushing it a little bit. It's probably gonna have some content that younger viewers should not see. I personally do not think a period drama should have a higher rating than PG-13. I just don't. I don't want to see any nudity in my period dramas. I don't want to see any explicit language. I don't want to see any explicit content. Period. So I just don't like that. But North and South, I think, is really well done. I'm not comparing it to the book. Like I said, I have not read it, but it is one of the best ones. Richard Armitage is just those looks are perfect. Him and Margaret clash heads so perfectly. I think if you are a fan of Pride and Prejudice, you will absolutely love North and South. I think there's only one adaptation. I have not heard of any other ones. If y'all know, it's coming. Okay, and then another one I would have to say would be Persuasion. Wait, did I say North and South 2007? North and South 2004, but it's only one adaptation. Y'all know what I mean. And then Persuasion. 2007, Persuasion probably is my second favorite Jane Austen novel. Anne Elliot is the oldest of Jane's protagonists. She is constantly told in the book that her looks have she's lost her bloom. They don't expect Anne to get married. She's 27. I think she's like 27 years old. They don't expect her to have any more prospects, and they treat her that way. They treat her like a maid somewhat. She tends the household. Her father is very extravagant in his wealth. So for me, I like Persuasion. Now, I have watched the 1995 adaptation of Persuasion, but I preferred 2007 adaptation. I have reasons why. I don't really want to say why, because there are some people that I have as friends who really like that adaptation. I try, you guys. If I have friends, as an empath, I don't really ever want to make anyone feel bad, but I did Google after watching the 95 adaptation of Persuasion, and there was a whole Reddit thread that I went down a rabbit hole of reading. It was really funny, but I do prefer the 2007 adaptation. I have watched the Netflix adaptation. I know y'all gonna get mad at me. But I actually liked Persuasion, the Netflix adaptation. Hey, come back. Sit down. Okay, I said I liked it. Now, is it accurate to the book? Absolutely not. Would I have called it Persuasion? No. I think it should have a completely different title. I think it should say Inspired by Persuasion, because it is not Persuasion. But did I enjoy it when it came out? Yes. Will I probably watch it again? Yes. Did I like the soundtrack? Yes. Did I enjoy it? I liked it. Sue me. I think the reason why Persuasion is so well liked is because Anne is considered older. Her prospects are gone. She fell in love deeply with Frederick Wentworth before he became Captain Wentworth. She fell in love with him then, and she has never loved anybody else. The same for Captain Wentworth. He has not loved anybody else. He's only loved Anne. These people that have been separated by all these years, all this distance, they are finally put within the same, group once again, atmosphere once again, and they can't help. They still love each other. And I think that's a beautiful story to see, that someone just loves you so much. They're willing to wait all these years, all this time, to be back with you, especially Captain Wentworth. And I will say, as far as Persuasion adaptations go, I really want to see the letter read in full. I think the letter is, I'm not sure if the 95 adaptation has the letter in full. I know it kind of does like a voiceover thing in the 2007 one, so I'll have to rewatch them to see. But so North and South 2004, Persuasion 2007, and I will add Sense and Sensibility 2008 to that list. Once again, I have seen the 1995 adaptation of Sense and Sensibility. I think it is a beautiful film. I love it, but I just prefer the miniseries. When it comes to period dramas, that's another thing. It has to be, I think, content-wise, it can't be explicit. I mentioned before I prefer it to be PG-13 and under, and I prefer miniseries. I just do. I feel like classic novels are huge. When they were originally published, a lot of them came out in series, in parts. You had to wait, months before you could read the next part. So taking all of that, condensing it, like North and South, they're condensing all of that into a movie that's rushed. I feel like a lot of the little nuances are lost. A lot of the longing, we don't see how long these characters are longing for each other or separated from each other. In a movie, this is all squashed together. It's condensed. I think with movies also that they tend to dumb them down because they are trying to cram so much into a short amount of time. So I prefer the miniseries. Persuasion 2007 isn't a miniseries though, and that's okay. I still like it. But the Sense and Sensibility miniseries, oh, it's just perfect. It's so perfect. I think the actors all played their roles so beautifully. We get to see Marianne's progression into her depression better. The scene where Eleanor is describing that, you know, just because she hadn't showed how she was feeling doesn't mean she wasn't feeling, you know. I like that part because in this adaptation, Marianne comforts her. Marianne kind of realizes that, you know, hey, my sister who does so much, who's always there for everybody else, she never really has anybody there for her. She doesn't have anybody to confide in. I like that in this adaptation, Marianne comforts Eleanor, whereas in the 95 adaptation, it kind of annoys me that we see Marianne who doesn't listen the entire time, Marianne who's so headstrong, who just runs into things. She's so passionate in the moment that she accuses Eleanor of not having truly felt for Edward. The moment that Eleanor starts to, you know, kind of break down and starts to cry, then Marianne cries harder, and Eleanor has to kind of like put her feelings aside to comfort Marianne. I do not like that. It annoys me so much. I feel like as older siblings, you always have to kind of suck it up for the younger ones. But in that 2007 adaptation, 2007 or 2008, anyway, for once, Eleanor gets to kind of sort of like, she gets to exhale, she gets to breathe, she is comforted by her sister. I love that scene. I just like that things are explained a bit more in miniseries. I think for people who aren't classic readers, or people who don't read classic novels, a miniseries of a classic novel helps to explain things better for them. You can take each little section, little nugget at a time, like, oh, I'm gonna read, you know, the first couple of chapters, and then I'll watch this episode, then I can read the next few chapters and then watch this episode. I like the way it's, you can kind of space it out and break it down like that. Okay, so far I've talked about North and South, Persuasion, Sense and Sensibility. Now I will, I'm trying to decide if things like Poirot or Sherlock Holmes are considered period dramas. I know they're like crime dramas. I guess it would be period dramas because they aren't taking place in that time period. But if you guys have been following me on Instagram, I know I've been talking about Poirot for quite a bit now. I think I've made it up to the early 2000s. I did not realize that this series was that long. I didn't realize that it was like a little break and then it comes back. So I am on the episodes that take place in the early 2000s. I absolutely love Poirot. I've always loved mysteries. And I really, really like this one. I like that Poirot is so set in his ways that everything has to be a particular way. He cares about how he looks when he goes out. Everything is nice and neat. And I think I enjoy watching him take care of himself as much as I like watching him solve those murder mysteries. So I think that would be one that I would include if we're considering crime dramas as period dramas. They do take place in a different time period because it came out in the 90s. I think that the first episode was like 89. And then Sherlock Holmes, y'all guys know that I'm really obsessed with Sherlock Holmes. Maybe I should save Sherlock for a separate video because I feel like there's just so much to cover with Sherlock, so many different adaptations. The books that I'm reading, absolutely love. Sherlock Holmes, so maybe I'll save that for a different video. And I also know a few of you guys voted in my stories on Instagram, so you guys want to see some of my vintage books. I have quite a few, but these are the ones I have with me right here. This is my 1930, let's see. This is a copy of Wind in the Willows. One of the things I absolutely love about this one is this map on the inside. Look at that, guys. Oh, it's just so beautiful. Look at it. Look at it. I hope it's on camera. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay. So this edition is from 1933. I think the latest cover. When I go look at these books, I always go by the last date. So it says in 1933. And then also on the inside, it says Edith Macy Training School. And I looked that up before when I first got this book. And apparently the Edith Macy Training School was a training school for the Girl Scouts. I think it's in New York or New Jersey, one of those areas. And I imagine this was probably one of the books that they had in the library there. This is the back of it. And it actually still has a little card. I guess if they checked the books out, check this book out with. And I always love finding vintage books when they have like little things still left in there. I always leave them in there for the next owner. But yeah, this is one of my absolute favorites. I did read this copy because I never read the book before, but I did not annotate this copy. I didn't annotate it, did not put any tabs in it. I wanted to kind of keep it the way it was because it is a gorgeous, gorgeous book. And then another one I got was a Spanish grammar. Usually when I go to the thrift store, I am looking for vintage books to add to my collection. I don't really like buying new books. Kind of don't. I'm not a fan of new books. I'm not a fan of new books. I want them old and worn. Looking for a place to retire. But this one also comes with pictures in the inside, and it's basically like a Spanish book, I guess, to teach you Spanish and how to conjugate it. Now the copyright date for this one, the last date says 1917, so this is a really old one. You can also tell that this is an older book too. If you have some vintage books, they also feel, some of them feel heavier. This is a very heavy book. The type of paper that is printed on, it's not the type of paper that books are printed on nowadays. It is very heavy, it's smooth, and you can feel the indentions of how it was typed, how it was printed. This is not one that I will be reading, but it's one that I will keep in my library because I love it. A little bit of history here from 1917. More pictures. And I like the way it looks side by side with other vintage books. Okay, and this is the one I picked up the other day that I was going to start reading. I think I posted it in my stories. It's called The Red Badge of Courage. No, it's not called The Red Badge of Courage. It says it on the title. It's called The Affair of the Dead Stranger. It does have a dust cover on it, but the dust cover is falling apart, so I took it off. So it will not fall apart. Now this one does have a name in here that you can barely see anymore. And I shared on Instagram the copyright date for this one. I think it's 1944. Let me double check. Yes, 1944. Okay. And then I got this. I used to rep for a lady who used to have her own little company where she would sell vintage books on Instagram. She hasn't been active in a while, maybe over a year or so. But when I repped for her at the end of the rep term, she would let us pick out a book, and I picked out this one. And inside of this one, I leave it in the spot that it came in, but it was like a little birthday invitation. I don't know if someone was inviting their friend to a birthday party, but I absolutely love that. So it says birthday announcement, and it has Evelyn at the top. Okay. And in the inside, it says, come, have some fun to birthday party. You are invited to my birthday party. Where? Louis Brower, date December 12th, Thursday evening, time. It says, go home on Louise's bus and stay all night. So I thought that was really, really sweet. Looks like whoever wrote this helped their mom write it out, added maybe some of their own little touches. Oh no, you guys, I actually lost the page that it's supposed to be on. but they added some of their own little touches to this, which is really cute. And that's one of my favorite things about this one, that it has that little part in there. And then this is also at the back of it. I guess this was some kind of like little writing challenge that they used to have with mystery books back then, because it has one at the front that says the Affair of the Scarlet Crab, winner of a $1,000 red badge mystery prize. So I don't know if you can submit like your ideas to this little thing, but I think this is really, really, really cute. All right, you guys, thank you for coming along and hanging out. I keep forgetting that I can't look at myself when I'm recording. I think I mentioned this in one of my videos before, that I have to look at the actual camera. So thank you guys for coming to hang out and see me talk about books, talking about period dramas. I probably will make these longer as I get more comfortable with talking on camera and editing, because the editing probably takes so long to edit the videos, guys. Editing and figuring out other little things I want to do. I know I want to start like making tea on my videos, or talking about tea, snacks, maybe I don't know. I think it's kind of hard to have like viewing parties for things like this, because you can't post or record things. But maybe it could be like everyone watches at home, and then there's like a group chat or something where everyone can just like comment while watching. I don't know. Or a readathon. I know the new Netflix adaptation of Pride and Prejudice is coming out, and the new Sense and Sensibility movie. Maybe I'll do that. I did a little Pride and Prejudice read and break down the book last year during the 30th anniversary. So maybe we could do like a little Sense and Sensibility read along or something, to all read that novel together before the movie comes out. I think the movie comes out in October. But thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for hanging out, relaxing. Make sure you have your water and your drinks next time, your snacks. And I hope you guys all have a great day.